Welcome to the virtual presenter. Maybe you have already noticed that doing a presentation in the virtual environment is quite different to being in the room and doing a presentation physically. And it could be that you've already asked yourself the question, well, what is then different? That's why today we're going to ask ourselves, what are the 4 challenges of a great virtual presentation? To be able to do that, let's go back into the room, into the situation where you were in front of your team, your peers, your stakeholders, clients maybe, and you were doing a presentation. Because there are things that are significantly different, and I'm going to show you exactly what they are. Number 1 is when you got up, started your presentation, were facing your audience, you immediately got 100% of their attention. Because there wasn't anywhere else for their attention to go. It was on you. And when you was pointing out things on the screen, explaining to them what was important, they could focus on the elements, the important parts of your presentation. Which means immediately, just by being there, having that presence in the room, there was a huge amount of attraction to your presentation. And after the presentation, people could ask you questions. They could come up to you in the break over a cup of coffee, and you had the opportunity to extend your message and further impact your audience. You see, and all this has changed because you're not in the room anymore. That's why we have to very carefully see how can we rebuild these 4 elements in the virtual environment so that you can have an impact on your audience as if you were in the room. For that, let's go through those 4 elements step by step, and I'm going to share with you what you can do immediately to make that difference. Okay? Because there are a number of issues that you have today when you're doing a virtual presentation. And if your business depends on the success of your presentation because you want to influence your managers, your stakeholders, your team, your clients maybe to take a decision, then you really want to master the skill of the virtual presentation and not struggle with issues around virtual presentations. Because the first thing that you want to do, you want to have the people's attention. And getting the people's attention is making it all about them, which means that your slide deck, if it is not about them, immediately they're going to lose the attention and they're going to start clicking on their cell phone, looking at other screens, but not paying attention to your message. The second thing that you would want to do is, just like you were in the room, you'd want to stand up and talk about what they are seeing so that you can help them focus on the second element that is the issue around virtual presentations. Because while you know what you're focusing on when you're talking, they might not be knowing what you're focusing on because you're not pointing on the second point, because you might be invisible. The third thing is, you have to find ways, with the help of technology, like I'm doing here, to increase the attraction of your presentation. Because there's no reason why your presentation should only be a slide and there is nobody talking and nobody to be seen. Otherwise, it looks something like this and there's nobody there. But if there are elements that are important, and moments where you want to make an impact, how important it is to really master the virtual presenter, then you have to play with the audience, create some suspense, and talk to each and every one in the room to create that impact. And then you can be doing things as if you were in the room. And the 4th thing, the extension, is offering a snapshot, an element of your presentation, like this one here, where you've recorded what is most important, offering it to them so that they can replay it. And this way you can extend the message to them and extend the impact that you want to have on the target group. These are the 4 elements that you want to master to create attention, to create focus, to continue build and master the attraction and create the extension of your message so that you can have that great impact online. This is how you can be the presenter who makes a great impact online. And if you want to know more about the virtual presenter, about my book, then you should take a look at the link that is here around this video, probably below, so that you can follow on the virtual presenter, so that you can be the one who masters the virtual presentation the next time your business depends on it. Because in the virtual environment, you have to work totally differently to catch and impact your audience. And the virtual presenter shows you how. So follow the link below and make sure that you're the presenter who makes an impact online.